Fire Escape Academy Inspector Training video. We're here in Rutgers University in New Brunswick, and that was a very unique fire escape with a fireman's pole. Never seen one like it. We did a video on that already, but we're here looking at this other one. Let's take a look at this fire escape. Again, two things in order for it to pass inspection. Must be structurally sound, must be kept painted. Let's take a look at this one. It's nice and shiny. So 5, 10, 15 years ago, somebody wrote a scrape and paint violation, and that's what they did. They came in here and they scraped it and painted it. But let's talk about the structural. Was the structural work overseen by a structural engineer? And you can see I'm looking for evidence of repair. Evidence anywhere on this fire escape that there's some new shiny hex head bolts. Minimally on the treads. None. All original square hex head bolts. So even though they painted it, they didn't clean out any of the rust. So let's take a look at underneath and see how tight they are over here on the fire escape. Let's take a look at these and see how tight. See the rust build up in there? Original bolts still stayed. See the rust build up over there? Let's take a look. So you can see the markings on the wall. Somebody even painted it not so good because they painted on the wall. Rust build up. No bolts. The bolts they did a quick little weld job on there. Original square head bolts. The bolts they used to hold the rails, they just welded them. They didn't bother rebolting it back in. Let's take a look at, see the rust that's building in there. So this is an indication. I'm not going to go all the way up because you can see all original square head bolts on the entire fire escape is on here, and you can see some cracks on the wall. That's from the building pulling away, from the fire escape pulling away from the building also. Now if you look up, you got to look at some of the welds, see if there's been any reinforcement bolts on some of these older welds. Can't see any. Look up and you can see the lowest rivet, the lowest clips of the stringers still have rust inside. So here we have a fire escape that was given a violation 5, 10, 15 years ago. Scrape and paint it, and they did, but all the original hardware is still on this fire escape. So if you look up, there's no evidence of any new hardware anywhere. That's impossible on a 50 to 75-year-old fire escape. It's impossible for it not to have some rebolting somewhere, on a rail, on a tread, on a support. So in 50 to 75 years, paint only, no structural. I would deem this fire escape's structurally unsafe. There's some issues somewhere. They're hidden because everybody just painted over everything. So it does need a professional evaluation. The violation here would be repair, paint, and test this fire escape, because even though it's shiny and black, she is hiding some structural issues on this fire escape. Let's take a look at another building right here next to this building, and that's a very simple one, and see if this one can be looked at for any structural issues. Again, it looks like it's been painted, so 5, 10, 15 years ago somebody wrote a scrape and paint violation, and they did. And let's see if anything else is wrong with this fire escape. Well, the first thing you notice, fire escape has been damaged, and the damage was just painted. It doesn't look like they came in here and fixed anything. They just left the railing and the ladder the way it is, so we don't know if that rung is any good there, but it's definitely been damaged by a hit of some kind, and it was never repaired. You know how it ties into the bottom was never repaired, yet this looks like a fresh paint job. Let's look up there, see if there's any evidence of any activity. It's an all welded fire escape. We got some tearing happening back at the building, and whether or not that there's holes there for bolts, but they just welded that. There's some rust that you can see where the ladder is up there. You can see that it got pulled away when something hit it. Nice and painted, so I don't see any other issues, but the railing looks like it pops out. I don't know if that was from the hit, but you can definitely see that there's a warpage on the rail. So this is enough for a violation to be written. Repair, paint, test. They're going to have to fix this ladder, and they're going to have to re-cement the footing, and just to identify whether or not this hit was enough to twist the railing out so far. So this is the kind of things you got to look for when you're looking at fire escape inspections, as to whether or not, you know, everything is shiny and black, but is everything structurally safe? And that's what you have to concern yourself with. If you have any questions, give us a call here at firescapeengineers.com. 866-649-0333. You can always visit the YouTube channel and look at this and many other videos just like this on how to write a proper violation. Fire Escape Academy Inspector Training video at YouTube. Give us a call.